All right, it is 6:30, and if you would rise and turn to the flag, we'll start the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. With that, I'll call the regular board meeting for the Osceola School Board of Education for March 18, 2026. Order with a roll call. Kaisa, James, Corey, Jan, here, and myself is here. We'll move into public comments next. We value community input and appreciate your engagement in our schools. I want to outline expectations as set forth in Board Policy 167.3, public comment at board meetings. Each speaker will have up to 5 minutes and must direct comments to the board as a whole on matters within the board's jurisdiction. Public comment is not a forum for debate, questioning board members or staff, or for a place for back and forth discussion. I also want to be clear that personnel and student-specific matters are confidential as by state law and are not discussed in open session. These matters, when appropriate, are addressed through administrative processes and an executive session. Personnel-related comments will not be permitted during public comment, and speakers must refrain from sharing confidential or personally identifiable information. Respectful and orderly conduct is required. Disruptive behavior, personal attacks, or abusive language will not be tolerated, and board policy will be enforced. If disruptions prevent the board from conducting business, a recess may be called or the meeting will be adjourned. We appreciate your cooperation on the business of the district. I have a speaker, Kelli Newman, on the topic of transparency.
Okay. Good evening, members of the board. First, I wanted to thank you for undertaking an independent external investigation into concerns surrounding mandatory reporting and the district's handling of a serious incident. This is an important step towards rebuilding community trust, and I look forward to the public report so that the community can better understand its findings and its recommendations. At the same time, concerns about transparency remain. Recent reporting has raised questions about closed session board operations relating to the initiation of this investigation, underscoring the need for governance practices that go beyond compliance and are clearly understood by the public. Transparency matters not just in moments of crisis, but in everyday decisions. I'd like to share a recent example regarding proposed changes to the English scheduling at the high school. At a January work session, a shift was proposed from 2 to 3 required trimesters of English for freshman students. At the board meeting that same night, an action item referenced course proposals and did not include the structural change. The minutes of the meeting reflect this. This matters because it has real impacts for students and staff. In a 5-block trimester schedule, freshmen have limited flexibility. With current requirements, many students only have a small number of elective opportunities in their first year. Expanding English to 3 trimesters further reduces those opportunities and limits students' ability to explore areas like world languages, the arts, and technical education. These introductory courses are often entry points into advanced pathways. When access is reduced, students lose opportunities to discover interests and pursue future coursework. There are also broader implications to consider. As potential staffing reductions are discussed, increasing required seat time in core areas may shift enrollment away from electives, impacting those programs and the educators who support them. If the goal is to improve outcomes, it's important to also consider these unintended consequences. Tonight's discussion of Policy 5460 presents an opportunity for clarity around graduation requirements, course credits, and scheduling structures. I encourage the board to allow sufficient time for thoughtful discussion so that its significant decisions are fully understood and their impacts are carefully considered. Providing that level of transparency and deliberation will help families understand not just what decisions are being made, but why, and will ensure that the process is worthy of the community's trust. Transparency, especially in moments like these, is one of the most effective ways to rebuild trust between the district and the community. Thank you for your time and your service.
we have student voice.
Hi, I am Lynette Schug. I am here at I am a sixth grader here at OMS, and I'm part of the student council program.
Hi, I'm Alan Haas. I'm a sixth grader here at OMS, and I'm a part of the student council program.
Hi, I'm Emma Carrasca. I'm a sixth grader here at OMS, and I'm a part of the student council program.
Hi, I'm Nora Schmidt. I'm a sixth grader here at OMS, and I'm part of the student council program.
We are members of the Osceola Middle School Student Council program, and we are here to talk about how we work together as a group at the Osceola Middle School. So far this year, we have planned fun dress-up days, parties, and we sell a selection of items during lunch on Fridays. Our biggest accomplishment this year is collecting 750 pounds of food for a food drive, which we then donated to the Osceola Open Company.
Some examples of activities that we have done at the middle school parties consist of volleyball tournaments, paintball, crafting, karaoke, and many others. The big draw at our parties is the concession stand. The money we get from selling off the cart goes right to the school parties. One of our most recent events was Wellness Week. We had chocolate milk and cheese curds, which were donated by Cristobal Farms to try at lunch. And every day we had a new infused water flavor to try. We also had wellness trivia and bingo to win fun prizes.
Our student council is ran by a number of kids in each grade who are selected by Ms. Zaluski, who is also our supervisor. We hold meetings as often as we can and when needed to decide the upcoming events. We show our pride for our school community in any way that we can.
A few things we do to advertise these events is to design and make posters to hang up in the halls. As student council members, we have to have a very flexible schedule to help out our school community and anything Mrs. Zaluski needs help with. Thank you for your time. Do you have any questions?
I just love this.
What's your favorite part of being on student council?
Planning like the dress-up days and stuff. Yeah.
Do you guys, girls, do most of this stuff like during the daytime, or do you do stuff after school as well, as far as like planning things?
We do most things in like Win and Advisory and like really any time that we can help out with, so mostly in the day.
What have been your favorite dress-up days?
Probably like teachers dress as students,
Yes, I like that one.
I like that one too.
Is there a favorite, so do you guys dress up as teachers then?
Yeah.
Who do people most usually like to dress up as? Students, who do they like to dress up
I
as?
think this year is a lot of, I think it was Mr. Renzel, Mr. Ryan. Yeah.
I do have one more question. Have any of you, done the student council in earlier grades, or is this the first opportunity you have to try student council?
I've done it before.
So far.
We all were in it last
we
year.
all were in
too,
it last
fifth
year.
grade.
So you must like it.
Yeah.
Did you guys like it more than you thought you would like it?
I think so, yeah.
Well, thank you for your
Some
service.
future leaders on our hands.
Yes, we appreciate it, thanks for being here.
Takes a lot of courage to speak in front of this scary group, so
Yeah.
we really appreciate you being here tonight.
And we also appreciate Ms. Lucy for being here and making magic happen. Great team.
Great job.
Yes. All right, that brings us to item 5, which is the consent agenda. Or you have the consent agenda before you, what would be your wishes? I would like to pull up the retirements. All right, well, the consent agenda with the absence of F, or what is your wishes?
So, okay, all right. How many have Mr. Cormican? Okay, look at that, that's amazing. How many people have worked alongside Steffen, who at some point? Absolutely. I don't think any of us had Schug.
Worked with her?
No. Oh, there we go, all right, there we go, all right, excellent.
Mrs. Newman? Okay.
Worked with her.
Ms. Susan?
Yeah, she was fifth grade, right? And then she moved over to middle school, so.
This is like an incredible group.
It's a power group. I think about the amount of impact, the sheer number of students, the amount of chaos that they've experienced in their careers, and they kept coming back. It's extraordinary.
Do people see the bobbleheads that the band had for Mr. Aytay at the recent pep band event? Or like,
Well, they were big signs.
face signs, whatever they were. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, Chad Leonard was here guest starring as the speaker because Mr. Newton wasn't available at a basketball game. He did a shout out to Art, and Art wasn't expecting it in the amount of emotion that hit Art. Then I'm standing there ready to cry. I'm just like looking at him and he's trying to hold it together and he did a turnaround wave.
And they kept
And then just like, please don't do that again. So if you want to talk memories with these friends, they're all in with the emotional end. Or I should say emotional next. What's next?
I'll make a motion to approve their retirements. I
I will-
wish them the best.
I will second that.
I'll third it.
No? There's a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Opposed would be nay. Thank them for their years of service and wish them well in retirement. So, that brings us to item 6, school board committee report. School board committee report for tonight. Who wants it? Not my turn. All right. We're down at that end of the table.
Okay.
All right.
I have a lot of notes. We heard administrative reports from all of the administrators. Exciting to hear all of the things that are happening. We also heard from the middle school and high school athletic directors. Lots of successful seasons for our teams and clubs. We heard a budget update from Shannon and Becky. That was not nearly as exciting or positive, but we heard it. We have a lot of work to do on the budget. More to come with that. I'm anxious to hear from Anderson. Also more about the administrative team that's been moving on the scenes. We saw a preview of the CISA 11 contract that will come before the board. Rough draft of board meeting schedule for next school year. Some pay scales that will also come before the board again, and first reading of policies 1213, 3213, 4213, 5136, and 8462. I'll just note to, no, that's okay, that's it.
That's it.
Yep.
That brings us to the student rep report. Mr. Tristan Bell.
How's it going? Nice shoes.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're
I'm glad
welcome.
some people appreciate
You look
my
nice
shoes.
tonight.
Thank you. Thank you. Don't want to call anybody out specific.
I think he is.
And the brown shoes, not black. So first academic, we had the end of the second trimester, just a week, 2 weeks. And then I was gonna put ACT on there, but I couldn't find the days, what that is, March 25th and 26th. Very fun day for the seniors. For the social aspect, we got kind of a lot. I'm gonna go through it as thorough and as fast as possible for you guys. So we had the Rotary Student of the Month for January, Archer, Key, and then for February, in Spiegel. I'm not sure if I covered both of them in the last month, but I just threw them on there just to make sure we cover that basis. So congratulations to them. And then we had The OHS men's ensemble, they enjoyed a trip down to Eau Claire where they got a chance to perform with the UW Eau Claire singing Statesman. They finished their day with having a concert that was open for the public to come and listen to, so quite an amazing opportunity for them. And then again, the OHS women's ensemble performed in the UW Eau Claire Trembly Choir Festival. They concluded their day with a concert featuring the high school Trembly Festival Choir. Treble, thank you. Treble Festival Choir, the UW Eau Claire Women's Concert Choral, and the combined performance of all of the singers. Special shout out to Osceola fishing team. They competed in the state ice fishing championship on the Wisconsin River system between Stevens Point and Wausau. The team finished 36th out of 92 teams with a total of 202.75 total inches. While the fishing was tougher than expected, the students had a great experience and are grateful for the support from the many assistant coaches throughout the season, and support from the community and the great community that the ice fishing team has helped build, including the band that was put up in town. And then the Osceola FFA celebrated their National FFA Week by recognizing several accomplishments over the past year, which includes last year, so the end of 2025. Highlights included Michelle Dahlstrom winning the state discussion meet, Olivia Cunningham earning a $10,000 National FFA scholarship, and the dairy judging team advancing to the state competition. The chapter also hosted its first Ag on the Lawn event and celebrated their 75th anniversary of the Osceola FFA tractor pull, so pretty cool. Continuing this tradition of their leadership service and their excellence. The Osceola intermediate students recently participated in the Battle of the Books competition after reading and mastering all 20 books on the list. A lot of reading. I know I tried that a little bit books, and it didn't go very well for me. Following a strong day of competition, state teams were formed and competed with great determination and sportsmanship, and they represented Osceola well. From what I know, they're still waiting on the final rankings, so I'll let you guys know about that as soon as that final goes out. And then the Osceola...
24. The fourth graders in 24.
Oh, they did? Okay, perfect. Thank you. The Y-Weight students, they recently presented their Changemaker chats in the OHS auditorium. They each shared about 5-minute presentations about their 2 trimester projects, which was pretty cool. If you got a chance to go in and see some of them, it's really cool what they're doing to impact our community. They addressed the variety of community issues, and then they reflected on both the challenges and successes they experienced while working to create a meaningful change within the community. And the OHS Academic Decathlon won the Division III state championship at the state competition and has qualified for National Academic Decathlon in April, which is in California, so that's going to be a fun trip for them. Individual honors include Regan Colzer, gold medal in the interview section. Brett with silver medal in science. Johanna selected as one of the top 3 speeches in the state, so congratulations to them for that. And the FFA members also had a strong showing at sectionals. Mary Alice Bachelor placing 3rd in the prepared speaking contest. James Grass, Hannah Davis, and Mary Alice Bachelor also competed with the high school FFA quiz bowl team and are awaiting results. And then the athletic part. Boys varsity basketball, 4-time 4-peat conference champs. Congratulations to them on that. That's really amazing to see, just all 4 years culminating to one final end. They beat the St. Croix Central Panthers to clinch a co-conference championship. They then advanced to the playoffs with a bye. They then played the Purple Panthers, tearing through their competition 67-62. They followed that win, gliding through victory against the Cardinals, who couldn't navigate the flight path to victory, 66-52. Heading to their first neutral site game, the Chiefs fell to a buzzer beater, unfortunately, in a very close matchup, ending their hopes of a state championship, although it was a very, very well fought season with many accomplishments from many different students. And I just want to special thought out and say thank you to all the seniors on the team. Powerlifting, unbelievable success. I know Mr. Hahn talked about that a little earlier, but the boys team won the state title, and then they also, as a combined co-ed team, won the state championship as well. And then individually, River, Johnson, and Dylan Kester both placed first. Seth Marty placed fifth, Adele Pratt and Emily Tevin placed fifth, respectively. Congratulations to our student athletes. The wrestling team had an amazing season this year as well. Individually, Tallenberg placed fifth, Logan Meyer placed third, Malachi Barker placed third, Cody Meyer placed sixth, and Elliot Havlish placed sixth at the state championship. Congratulations to the team as a whole for making it to state. Unfortunately, they lost first round to our neighbors to the north. Corey's home. Corey's home. I'm just kidding, Corey. Love you. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys here. So, any questions, comments?
How many days till graduation?
Don't ask me that. I know it's close, and I feel it every day. I'm just mentally thinking, oh, we're about 2 months away now. You know, I don't know the days though. I probably should know the days.
Sounds like you counted all.
No, I know. I already feel like, I mean, not really, but at the same time, it's like now it's gonna feel like long. It's not that it's like 2 months away, but now it felt like yesterday. Like I was just putting on the football cleats the last time, and now here we are in March, and then soon to graduation. So, yeah.
Questions for Tristan?
Nicely done.
Nicely done. I like to put gliding vest.
I'm glad. My athletics. You know, I know you guys love that. So I try to do it every time.
Alright, item 7 is learning and growth. Approve the Start College Now and Early College Credit Program applications. I have one in hand. I don't think I'm supposed to do that. Motion by Jan, second by Steph. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Opposed would be nay. That is approved. Item 8, finance and operations, policy 5460, reporting review and approval.
Scott addressed this. Again, looking at graduation requirements don't change. Essentially what this shows is every course that we offer, how many credits it's worth, and how many trimesters it is. Because an example would be of a shift was sometimes we would have like an AP class, might be 3 trimesters, and then you would move it to 2 trimesters. And that's nothing we've ever brought to the board to have a conversation about. That's what we do internally in-house. So that as when you look on here for, I think last year, algebra changed to 3 trimesters. This year, ELA is changed 3 trimesters. And the intent, right, is we want kids to have a super successful start so that they can get to where they need to go. And also it's a strategy for improving our high school report card score. So, now if you have anything that you all
So are you kind of, since it's going in 3 trimesters now, is there going to be more curriculum added?
In some cases, yes, so English will be the whole year long. They don't get thrown their textbook as it is right now. So this will give them an opportunity for however they need to adjust, whether that's feedback to kids, individual work time with kids, adding more depth to their content. So that's something that they're working on right now in preparing for next year.
And a good example of this last year, and I spoke to Ms. Campbell for Elder this last year. She was able to slow some things down during some difficult topics for some kids. Instead of spending like a week on certain things, she could spend like 2 weeks and preparing for kids to have a better handle, or her feeling at least a better handle on some of the topics.
Thank you. And why the change? What's the driver behind the change?
For both algebra and English, I would say a big part of it was for the student staff, like there was a gap. So sometimes when you talk about the gaps and like kids taking the first try to a third try, and it is like Dr. Sal said, for us to work towards with some improvements in time in the areas of English and math, especially algebra, which algebra is based on basically, I might be off here a little bit, but I would say it's approximately around 40% of what the ACT is being assessed on, for kids to have that base knowledge to build upon that into geometry and algebra 2 and Greek and so forth. So we felt it was very important for kids to have that base knowledge even stronger, and the same with English 9 for kids, to continue that through that whole year, and then go into your sophomore year, going back to 2 trimesters of English. Because at sophomore year, then we have the opportunity, which we included this last year, we put in honors 10 English. So that's where we kind of just started developing different pathways for kids from English and in that sophomore year for honors English 10 to regular English 10. And then that next year, then there's also more opportunities for AP English Lit, AP and so there's different pathways for these kids to get into from those core area classes.
It does reduce 2 tries of electives.
Correct. Yep.
For the.
And so with that, we made some adjustments in the past regarding, like, say, computer apps. It doesn't, you're right, it takes up 2 more sections.
There's 2 sections
in their schedule. As a result of that, so I would say a couple of things. One, we changed with computer apps and looking at those things, allowing that to go to freshman sophomore year, so kids can move that to to the sophomore year if they want to. And then also what we're looking at right now is that when we look at our kids right now going into their senior year, we have a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of open options for kids and sections for kids to continue to take courses into their senior year. Some of the things that you're seeing regarding OBA, which is great for some kids, is that they know right now sometimes they get to that part, they only have 1 English class to take, whatever, and then they're choosing then to go work more or some of those things, which is probably really good for some of those kids, which is great. This does prolong that, I guess, a little bit into those credits. For some kids, there'll be an extra section or 2 or section of classes into their senior year, which will depend if they want to, but their credits don't change. It's still 25.5 credits to graduate. So that does not change for any kids.
I think the intentional planning too, another thing to remember is that not all freshmen are in algebra, right? So it's the students that didn't take algebra in 8th grade that are in algebra in high school or on a different pathway. So it's not all kiddos that are doing that. So an example would be if you have a student who took algebra in 8th grade, when they go to high school, they'll go to geometry or honors geometry, which is 2 trimesters. So they may keep the Microsoft Office, AKA computer apps, in their freshman year, or they can flex it out and then they have a bigger block schedule in there. So there's a lot to consider. It isn't like in the days when y'all went to school here where it was 8 classes, and if you took band, choir, and a world language, those were your electives. You still have opportunity in this trimester schedule to fit in if you want to take an ag class or a tech ed class because of the 15 classes. It just makes it a little bit different. And right, we're used to, semester people are used to math all year, science all year, social studies all year, ELA all year. With a trimester, we try to have more flexibility for students, but we also want to make sure that the academic achievement in ELA and math is where we need it to be.
Right, that's where, at first, that's where I struggled a little bit with it. Because there will be some kids where it's going to be a little bit difficult with that, but because that's where I was struggling, especially, I always just thought of, because I get really particular with the music kids, but that's where I kind of got hung up with it. But then I'm like, well, it is just the freshmen in particular, but then I was like, well, but that's also freshman year, you want them to get into the band right away so they can stick with it, but then I'm like, well, that's not everybody that's in English and in algebra, and I don't know. So I did a lot of like waffling, and I had to try to figure some of that out. But then I also looked at every schedule and all these different schedules, and you can pick apart every schedule. It does. Every schedule I look at, because I look at what we do up at St. Croix Falls too, and it's not ideal. Like everything, there's not a great schedule either way.
And by staying on trimesters, the other thing that it does when you talk about students is they don't have to have science and social studies, math and ELA the whole trimester, right? Because those are 2 apiece, so they can kind of spread the academic love instead of having 4 of them every day all year.
The other big thing that we did that we talked about in January was eliminating some of our prerequisites. So as we have really high numbers of enrollment, we had to kind of put some guards up so that kids had to take certain classes to get down to that pathway, right? Well, now we don't have all of those students where we need to kind of stop game a little bit. So we took away a lot of those prerequisites. So like, for example, used to have to take AP Psych or regular Psych before you can get into AP Psych, you don't have to do that anymore. So, I mean, yes, it adjusts some things, but we've also tried to create other opportunities for kids to access that pathway faster than they did previously. So trying to find the balance in getting kids access to all of that.
Alright, board, this is an agenda item that requires action. No further discussion, otherwise I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Steffen, seconded here. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed would be nay. That is approved. Next, committee board meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, April 8th, 2026 at 5 p.m. in the middle school library. The next regular board meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, April 8th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. in the middle school library. With that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn to executive session pursuant to Wisconsin statute 1885(1)C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility, considering staffing for the 26-27 school year, including discussion of continuation of certain positions and Wisconsin statute 1985(1)F, considering financial, medical, social, or personnel histories or disciplinary data of specific persons, preliminary consideration of specific personnel problems, or the investigation of charges against specific persons except where Part B applies, which, if discussed in public, would likely to have a substantial adverse effect on the reputation of any person referred to in histories or data, or involved in any such problems or investigations for the purpose of considering results of a legal review and discussion with an independent investigator. Executive session will occur in middle school room 113.